Good afternoon. You're watching the OGTV News at midday. I am Mujisoma Sholaja. You're most welcome. The Herders Farmers Peacekeeping Committee set up by the Ogun State government to put an end to the crisis, especially in border areas, is making a progress as the committee is set to submit preliminary report to the state governor. Honorable Kayode Oladele, who is the chairman of the committee, made this known while speaking with journalists in Abeokuta. Bumi Adigun reports.
Normalcy is gradually returning to border towns in Ogun State after the recent Herders Farmers clash. Ogun State government effort at nipping the issue in the bud through the setting up of a peacekeeping committee has started yielding positive results.
First assignment will be to determine what really happened.
After the committee toured the length and breadth of areas affected and collated their facts through various submissions, there are high hopes now that findings will help government find a lasting solution to the crisis.
Most progress-seeking people here, the most cooperative with all arms of government, all arms of anything progressive. We are.
There must be law guarding them. So
if we follow this, that every one of us, we know our limit, we don't go beyond the boundary, peace will surely reign in this state.
The team, as it has been backed by the state government, will get a good result. There will be peace, harmonious peace between the herders and the farmers.
The Ogun State government has also distributed operational vehicles and motorcycles to the Joint Security Task Force recently created for permanent combing of the areas. Honorable Kayode Oladele extracted the visit and what the committee has seen so far.
We've been to several of these hotspots areas. We've been to Yewa North, we've been to Imekwafon, we've held several meetings and discussions with leaders, with Obas, as well as the Bales and all those who are stakeholders, major stakeholders. So everybody is talking, we are listening, and we are collating. For now, I won't be in a position to say this is the problem.
And the good news is that the committee is set to present to the governor a preliminary report on the crisis.
We shall submit an interim report to the governor of the state on our preliminary findings, at least. And we hope that in the next couple of weeks too, we should be able to submit our final.
Forging ahead, Kayode Oladele assured both the people and the government of a firm way forward to end the crisis.
We have seen a lot. We have seen situations where individuals were left with just the clothes they had on. We had seen situations where people lost their homes, their cars, their motorbikes, and everything they have in life, and for no cause and for no reason. And we do not think that people like that should be left to fend for themselves alone, because that would be heartless to do. So we are going to look into that and make a passionate appeal to the government.
The Peacekeeping Committee has only 6 weeks to complete its assignment. Bumi Adigun, OGTV News.
The Ogun State government says it has earmarked large portions of land in Ota, Ilaro, Shagamu, and Ijebu-Ode to host housing estates for middle and low-income earners in the state. The State Commissioner for Housing, Jagumolu Omoniyi Akode, explained that the decision to embark on the housing project was in consonance with the determination of the Dakma Abiodun-led administration to provide 2,500 housing units in the state in its first term. He added that locating the planned low and medium-cost houses in Ota, Ilaro, Shagamu, and Ijebu-Ode was to ensure equitable distribution of amenities and projects in the 3 senatorial districts of the state. Jagumolu stated further that the 150 units of 2 and 3 bedrooms at Prince Court Estate was commissioned at Kenta, Idiaba, in Abeokuta, while the 500 units of similar description are ongoing at Kobape in Ogun Central senatorial district. He, however, disclosed that the projects in Ota, Ilaro, Shagamu, and Ijebu-Ode will begin after the completion of the ongoing housing project at Kobakwe. The Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU, has blamed the federal government as well as the Accountant General of the Federation over what it called the victimization of its members. It said the federal government had refused to pay its members' salaries despite the no victimization clause of the suspended strike. According to ASU, while its members are back to their duty posts to work, the harsh economy being experienced due to unpaid salaries and non-refund of deducted check-off dues will affect productivity. The union warned that if pushed to the limit, withdrawal of work in the nearest future may be inevitable. And the federal government has explained why it was constructing a narrow-gauge railway on the Eastern Rail Line as opposed to the clamor for a standard-gauge line. Minister of Transportation Rotimi Amechi, who gave the explanation, said the standard-gauge line was going to cost about $11 billion to $14 billion to construct, whereas it will cost $3 billion to construct a narrow gauge, as he noted that getting funds was also tough this period. Similarly, the Managing Director, Nigeria Railway Corporation, Mr. Fidet Okira, said the narrow gauge line was not outdated or less efficient and insisted there will not be a comparison between both lines. The President of Africa Development Bank, Akiwumi Adesina, has advised the global community to share surplus vaccines as the world battles the COVID-19 pandemic. The former Minister of Agriculture said doing otherwise is like protecting one's house alone in the midst of a raging forest fire in the neighborhood. He said the world community needs strong vaccine solidarity, fairness, and vaccine justice. Days ago, Nigeria received nearly 4 million doses of the AstraZeneca Oxford vaccine shipped via the COVAX facility. The vaccination, which was flagged off days after the arrival of the vaccines, prioritizes health workers and other frontline workers in the country. Despite members of the European Union suspending the use of AstraZeneca brand of vaccine due to blood clot fears, health authorities in Nigeria have expressed confidence in the brand which it received. And now to some foreign stories. Ireland and Netherlands have become the latest countries to suspend their rollout of AstraZeneca jabs over concerns over post-jab blood clots, despite the firm insisting there was no risk, as most Italians were bracing for a new round of restrictions. Vaccination are a key tool to end the worst of a pandemic that has killed more than 2.6 million people since it emerged in China in late 2019. So far, more than 350 million doses have been doled out across the world, but countries including Denmark, Norway, and Bulgaria suspended the rollout of jabs after reports of blood clots developing in patients who had received the shot. An AstraZeneca spokesman said it had found no evidence of increased risk of blood clot conditions after analyzing reported cases from more than 17 million doses. The Chinese capital of Beijing was covered in thick smog on Monday as it experienced what its weather bureau has called the worst sandstorm in a decade. The storm caused an unprecedented spike in air pollution measurements, with pollution levels in some districts at 160 times the recommended limit. Hundreds of flights have been cancelled or grounded as the sky turned into an apocalyptic-looking haze of dust. The sun is being brought in due to strong winds from Mongolia. Mongolia is experiencing severe sandstorms, which have already resulted in 6 deaths, while dozens remain missing. To Myanmar, where the military has imposed martial law across more districts around the country following the deadliest day of protest since February's coup. About 50 people were reported killed when troops and police opened fire on protesters in various areas on Sunday. More deaths were in Yangon. The violence came a day before ousted civilian leader Aung San Suu Kyi was due to appear in court. On Monday, a virtual hearing was adjourned due to internal problems. She is due to face a slew of charges her supporters say are fabricated. Tens of thousands of people have turned out to marches across Australia protesting against sexual abuse and harassment of women in the country. They were spurred by a recent wave of allegations of sexual assault centered around Australia's parliament. The allegations are focused on the Conservative government. The protests were organized a week ago after the Attorney General, Christian Porter, revealed he was the subject of a 1988 rape allegation, which he denies. Sports now. Pelé congratulated Cristiano Ronaldo after the Portugal forward's hat-trick against Cagliari took him past the Brazilian legend's tally of goals scored in official matches. Ronaldo netted 3 times inside the opening 32 minutes to take his career total to 770, 3 clear of Pelé's tally of 767. Brazilian great Pelé, 80, wrote on Instagram to his 5.8 million followers by congratulating him on breaking his record of goals in official matches. Pelé, the only player in history to win 3 World Cups, has claimed to have scored 1,283 goals in total, including in unofficial matches. The words of Brian Tracy: clarity is the key to effective leadership. What are your goals? That's a question there. You can now watch us live on these platforms: Apple, Roku, Facebook, and Android devices. You can also watch live on OGTV website, www.ogtv.com.ng/live, or email info@ogtv.com.ng. That concludes the news at midday. Many thanks for watching. Stay with us as we bring you Ìròyìn in a short while. Good afternoon.
Ẹ káàsán, ìròyìn rèé láti iléeṣẹ́ tẹlifíṣàn ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn OGTV. Rẹ̀mí Adébíyì ni orúkọ tèmi. Ìgbìmọ̀ tó ń wá àlàáfíà lórí làásìgbò àwọn darandaran àtàwọn àgbẹ̀ nípínlẹ̀ Ògùn tí ìjọba ìpínlẹ̀ yìí ṣe àgbékalẹ̀ rẹ̀ ló ti gbáradì láti gbé àbọ̀ àti àbá iṣẹ́ ìwádìí rẹ̀ lórí ọ̀rọ̀ náà kalẹ̀ fún gómìnà ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn. Ọ̀nàrẹ́bù Káyọ̀dé Ọládélé tó jẹ́ alága ìgbìmọ̀ náà ló sọ yìí di mímọ̀ lásìkò tó ń bá àwọn akọ̀ròyìn sọ̀rọ̀ nílùú Abẹ́òkúta. Akọ̀ròyìn wa Bùnmi Àdìgún ló ní ẹ̀kúnrẹ́rẹ́ ìròyìn náà, ẹ jẹ́ á gbọ́ síwájú sí látẹnu Ọdúnayọ̀ Ògúnládé.
Àlàáfíà ti ń jọba láwọn ìlú tó bá ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn pààlà lẹ́yìn tí gbódò ń róṣọ láàrin àwọn àgbẹ̀ àti Fúlàní darandaran ti wáyé. Ìlàkàkà ìjọba ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn láti dá àlàáfíà padà ságbègbè táwọn ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ náà ti ṣẹlẹ̀ ló ti ń so èso rere látàrí bí ìgbìmọ̀ alálàáfíà èyí tí ìjọba ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn gbé kalẹ̀ ti ṣe ń ṣe àṣeyọrí lẹ́yìn tí ìgbìmọ̀ alálàáfíà náà ti ṣàbẹ̀wò sí tòrótìbù ibi tí làásìgbò náà ti wáyé tí wọ́n sì ti ń ṣe àkójọpọ̀ ìwádìí wọn. Ìrètí sì wà pé ìwádìí yóò jẹ́ kí ìgbìmọ̀ náà ó wá ojútùú ayérayé sí wàhálà tó máa ń fi gbogbo ìgbà wáyé láàrin àwọn àgbẹ̀ àti Fúlàní darandaran. Ẹ̀wẹ̀, ìjọba ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn ti pín àwọn ọkọ̀ àti alùpùpù èyí tí yóò máa lọ káàkiri agbègbè náà gẹ́gẹ́ bí ikọ̀ ojúlálá kan fi ń ṣọ́rí láti máa mú kí àlàáfíà àti ìfọ̀kànbalẹ̀ ó wà lágbègbè ọ̀hún. Aṣòfin Káyọ̀dé Ọládélé ṣàlàyé pé ìgbìmọ̀ náà ti ṣàbẹ̀wò sí gbogbo agbègbè tọ́rọ̀ kàn pátá. Ó fi kún ọ̀rọ̀ náà pé ìgbìmọ̀ ọ̀hún ti ṣetán láti jábọ̀ fún gómìnà lórí bí ohun gbogbo ti ṣe lọ sí. Ìgbìmọ̀ alálàáfíà náà ní ọ̀sẹ̀ 6 péré láti parí iṣẹ́ tó wà níwájú rẹ̀.
Ìjọba ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn ti sọ pé òun ti ya ilẹ̀ tó pọ̀ yanturu sílẹ̀ ní Ọ̀tà, Ìlaró, Ṣàgámù àti Ìjẹ̀bú-Òde láti fi ṣe àgbékalẹ̀ àwọn agboolé olówó pọ́kú fún àwọn tí owó tó ń wọlé fún wọn kéré níye ní ìpínlẹ̀ yìí. Ẹni tó ṣípayá ọ̀rọ̀ náà lópin ọ̀sẹ̀ tó kọjá lọ yìí ni alábòójútó fún ọ̀rọ̀ ìpèsè ilé gbígbé nípínlẹ̀ Ògùn Jagunmólú Ọmọníyì Àkàndé tó sì ṣàlàyé wípé ìpinnu láti gùnlé iṣẹ́ àkànṣe ìpèsè ilé gbígbé náà ló jẹ́ ní ìbámu pẹ̀lú ìpinnu ìṣàkóso yìí nípínlẹ̀ Ògùn èyí tí gómìnà Ọmọọba Dàpọ̀ Abíọ́dún tukọ̀ rẹ̀ láti pèsè ilé gbígbé 2,500 nípínlẹ̀ yìí lábẹ́ sáà kínní ìṣàkóso rẹ̀. Láfikún wípé gbígbé àwọn agboolé ìjọba tí wọ́n ń gbèrò rẹ̀ náà sílùú Ọ̀tà, Ìlaró, Ṣàgámù àti Ìjẹ̀bú-Òde ló jẹ́ ara ìpinnu láti ṣe àrídájú ìpíndọ́gba láìfì sí ibìkan ju ibìkan lọ nínú pínpín àwọn ohun èlò amáyédẹrùn àtàwọn iṣẹ́ àkànṣe sí àwọn ẹkùn ìdìbò mẹ́tẹ̀ẹ̀ta èyí tí ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn pín sí. Alábòójútó náà Jagunmólú Ọmọníyì Àkàndé sọ pé agboolé tó ní 150 ìyẹn 150 ilé gbígbé oníyàrá 2 àti oníyàrá 3 tí wọ́n kọ́ sí ibi tí wọ́n pè ní Prince Court Estate ni wọ́n ṣí sí Kẹ́ńtà Ìdíàbà nílùú Abẹ́òkúta. Nígbà tí irúfẹ́ rẹ̀ tó jẹ́ ẹlẹ́ẹ̀ẹ́dẹ́gbẹ̀ta ìyẹn 500 ilé gbígbé níṣẹ́ tún lọ lọ́wọ́ lórí rẹ̀ ní Kọ́bápẹ́ tó wà ní ẹkùn ìdìbò àárín gbùngbùn ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn. Lákòótán alábòójútó náà ṣípayá rẹ̀ wípé àwọn iṣẹ́ àkànṣe agboolé ìjọba tí wọ́n fẹ́ gbé kalẹ̀ sí Ọ̀tà, Ìlaró, Ṣàgámù àti Ìjẹ̀bú-Òde náà ní iṣẹ́ wọn yóò bẹ̀rẹ̀ ní kété lẹ́yìn tí wọ́n bá ti parí agboolé ìjọba ti Kọ́bápẹ́ tíṣẹ́ ń lọ lọ́wọ́ lórí rẹ̀ tán. Ẹgbẹ́ àwọn olùkọ́ ilé ẹ̀kọ́ ńlá yunifásítì ni wọ́n ti di ẹ̀bi ọ̀rọ̀ ru ìjọba àpapọ̀ àti olùṣírò owó àgbà nílẹ̀ Nàìjíríà lórí ohun tí ẹgbẹ́ náà pè ní ìhalẹ̀mọ́ àwọn ọmọ ẹgbẹ́ rẹ̀. Ó ní ìjọba àpapọ̀ ló ti kọ̀ láti san owó oṣù àwọn ọmọ ẹgbẹ́ náà lẹ́yìn tí wọ́n jùmọ̀ gbà wípé kò ní sí ìjìyà kankan lórí ti ìyanṣẹ́lódì tí wọ́n sọ̀rọ̀. Gẹ́gẹ́ bí ẹgbẹ́ náà ṣe sọ, nígbà tí àwọn ọmọ ẹgbẹ́ padà sí ẹnu iṣẹ́ wọn, wọ́n kojú ìgbà líle koko púpọ̀ lórí ètò ọrọ̀ ajé látàrí ti àìrí owó oṣù gbà àti àìṣe àdápadà àwọn owó tí wọ́n ti yọ nínú owó oṣù ni yóò sì ṣe àkóbá fún ṣíṣe iṣẹ́ wọn. Ẹgbẹ́ náà ti wá ṣèkìlọ̀ pé kíjọba àpapọ̀ má sún òun kan ògiri nítorí pé kó má bàa di pé wọn yóò tún da iṣẹ́ sílẹ̀. ìjọba àpapọ̀ ti ṣe àlàyé ọ̀rọ̀ lórí ìdí tó fi ń la ọ̀nà ọkọ̀ ojú irin akẹ́rù tórótó sí ọ̀nà ojú irin apá ìlà oòrùn lòdì sí ti ìpè fún ọ̀nà ọkọ̀ ojú irin akẹ́rù ńlá sí agbègbè náà. Alákòóso fún ìgbòkègbodò Rotimi Amechi ló ṣàlàyé yìí tó sì sọ pé irúfẹ́ èyí tí wọ́n ń pè fún náà ni yóò ná ìjọba ní owó bíi bílíọ̀nù lọ́nà $11 sí bílíọ̀nù 14 owó dọ́là, nígbà tí irúfẹ́ èyí tí wọ́n ń fẹ́ kọ́ yìí kò ní gbà ju bílíọ̀nù $3 lọ, nítorí pé kò dẹrùn rárá láti rí owó nírú àsìkò yìí. Bákan náà ni ọ̀gá àgbà iléeṣẹ́ ọlọ́kọ̀ ojú irin Fidelis Ohira ti sọ wípé èyí tí wọ́n fẹ́ ṣe yìí náà ni ó sì bá ìgbà mu, kì í ṣe ohun àtijọ́ rárá. Ààrẹ ilé ìfowópamọ́sí onídàgbàsókè ilẹ̀ Áfíríkà, ìyẹn Africa Development Bank ADB, Akínwùmí Adésínà ti pàrọwà sí àwùjọ àgbáyé láti mú kí abẹ́rẹ́ àjẹsára fún ìdènà àrùn COVID-19 ó délé kó dóko. Ó ṣàlàyé pé àwọn ènìyàn nílò abẹ́rẹ́ àjẹsára náà fún ìdènà ìtànkálẹ̀ àrùn COVID-19. Orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà ló ti ní àǹfààní láti rí abẹ́rẹ́ àjẹsára náà tó fẹ́rẹ̀ tó mílíọ̀nù 4 yẹn 4 million gbà láti iléeṣẹ́ AstraZeneca Oxford. Ọjọ́ kejì tí wọ́n kó abẹ́rẹ́ àjẹsára náà dé ni wọ́n ti ṣíde gígùn rẹ̀ tí ìlànà ti wà lórí bí àwọn tí yóò gbà á tó bẹ̀rẹ̀ lórí àwọn òṣìṣẹ́ elétò ìlera àtàwọn òṣìṣẹ́ tí iṣẹ́ wọn ṣe kókó tí wọ́n ń ṣe àyàgbàǹgbà síwájú láwùjọ orílẹ̀-èdè yìí yóò ṣe rí gbà, pẹ̀lú bí lára àwọn orílẹ̀-èdè àjọ ìṣọ̀kan ilẹ̀ Europe ṣe ti fi òfin de gbígba abẹ́rẹ́ àjẹsára náà. Àwọn alákòóso ètò ìlera lórílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà ni wọ́n ti ṣe àfihàn ìdánilójú èyí tí wọ́n ti gbà lórílẹ̀-èdè yìí pé ó péye dáradára. Ẹ̀yin ará, kí a tó máa lọ, ẹ jẹ́ kí a rán wa létí wípé ipò aṣíwájú ló nílò àwọn àbùdá kan. Nítorí náà tí o bá ń gbèrò láti dé ipò aṣíwájú lọ́jọ́ ọ̀la, ìwọ náà dùn láti ní àwọn àbùdá náà nínú ìlépa rẹ, yóò ṣe ṣe. Ìròyìn lédè Yorùbá fún ti àkókò yìí kò ní jù báyìí, ó tún wá di láago 4:30 ìrọ̀lẹ́ kẹ́ẹ̀tó tún láǹfààní sí ìròyìn lédè Yorùbá láti iléeṣẹ́ tẹlifíṣàn ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn OGTV tó kalẹ̀ sílùú Àbẹ́òkúta. Ó dìgbà, ẹ máa yáṣẹ́.